Well, dear brothers and sisters, today I wrote a pastoral letter to the diocese to be read at masses throughout the diocese on this fifth Sunday of Lent, so I ought to read it here as well. Perhaps I'll add a few things as I go, but it's brief. Well, today we will all hear the name of our new Pope in the Eucharistic prayer. We know it already. Francis is the first Pope to take that name, the first Pope from Latin America, the first Jesuit to become Pope. And as a monk, may I add that he is the first Pope for over 150 years to be what we call a religious, that is, someone consecrated to God through the profession of chastity, poverty, and obedience. Well, surely, we've felt this, I think, all of these things are refreshing. We feel they come from the Holy Spirit. They open new horizons. Already, Pope Francis has made his mark, and we can expect him to do so evermore. Well, here in the church in Scotland, we have been experiencing a lot of distress. At the heart of it, I think, we feel that some precious things have been broken. Things like personal integrity, trust in our bishops and priests, even the credibility of our faith and teaching. All of these things have seemed, at least in some degree, to collapse. We felt sadness or anger, and behind that, I think there's a great cry inside each of us for these things to be given back to us. A cry for a new purity and honesty, a cry for the true gospel, a cry for Christ. Well, gestures often speak louder than words. And I'm sure many of you saw this, watched this, but before he gave his blessing from the balcony of St. Peter's, Pope Francis asked the people to pray that the Lord would bless him. And you may remember, he bowed his head, the great crowd went silent, and everyone prayed. And then he in turn called down God's blessing on them. Now that was a very beautiful moment. What a symbol of reconciliation. People and priest united in prayer under the blessing of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, each calling down this blessing upon the other. And it is only the Trinity, the three and one, who can put the broken together again and restore the integrity we long for. Leave me, Lord, for I am a sinful man. You remember Peter says that in the Gospel of Luke after the great catch of fish. Leave me, Lord, for I am a sinful man. Well, he speaks for every pope, every bishop, every priest. He speaks for each of us in the church, sinners as we are. But you remember in that story, of course, the Lord did not leave him, did not leave Peter, and he does not leave us. Instead, he says, "Do not be afraid. From now on, it is men you will catch." And from that moment, the disciples left everything and followed him. Well, with Pope Francis, who is the new successor of Peter, let us continue our Christian lives. Let us recommit to our own vocations. Let us leave everything dishonest and impure and bitter and sinful behind us. Let us follow Christ, because it is Christ, we feel this very much at the moment, who is through this Lent and Easter taking the whole church through his cross to the resurrection.